Legendary, icon, Hall of Famer.
Hello, you're watching The Luna Show.
Welcome to The Luna Show. Welcome to The Luna Show.
Legendary, Luna, Luna.
They closed the category.
So how you feel about your performance?
I mean, it was nice. It's kind of different from a ballroom crowd to a mainstream crowd, but I showed them our life ballroom.
So what is this? What are we watching?
It was me voguing to Baroque music. That's like popular music in Paris, and I was doing ballroom to Baroque music, voguing.
And this evening, what's the project behind this celebration performance you just did?
It's bringing ballroom mainstream from Paris and Baltimore, collaborating together.
So how did that happen?
Fred he came to Baltimore and was doing like a lot of project work, and he came to one of the buns to see us evolve, and then he took our information and we started from there.
So I mean, we all know that voguing is an art form. For those who vogue, do you feel that people are going to accept the fact that it really is art form, and the people that are in ballroom?
I mean, well,
because of this exhibition and this project,
it's like breaking one door down at a time, and by the end of the day, ballroom is going to be, and voguing is going to be one of the forms of dancing with hip-hop, jazz, ballet, contemporary, and stuff like that. Voguing would be considered in that category.
So I know Willie said he wants to take Paris, voguing to Paris, to the real Paris. So you've been there and you've done work there?
Yes, and so since I haven't been back, it had really even got more better. So Willie's dream is coming true. and Paris has the same.
So tell me about you. What have you been working on besides all of this?
Just voguing, going international, teaching, still walking balls, and having my Vogue classes and stuff in Baltimore.
And you're known as the $10,000 winner?
Yes.
What do you do with that money?
Pay bills.
I always wonder when people win grand prizes that big. What do they do with it? You go on vacation?
Vacations.
Oh, so where you go? Where you go?
You go shopping.
Oh, you went to Paris?
Yes, and I went to Jamaica and stuff with my family and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's hot. Well, continued success. I thought your performance was beautiful, and I love to see voguing with different music, so that was kind of hot. So, any messages for young people watching?
Stay focused, stay in school, and be your own individual person.
Thank you. I want you to tell me about, the reason why you wanted to photograph and document this culture of voguing in Paris and in Baltimore.
It's because when I was 12 years old, I saw Grace Jones on television when I was a kid in Paris.
So for you, watching Grace Jones and the voguing kind of bring something up for you?
Grace
or?
Jones for me, it was just like, it's super voguers, and what's behind voguing is super important for me because I know somewhere there is a place where you can be yourself, where you can invent yourself. And I think if this doesn't exist, the world is over. And when I saw Grace Jones, it was not just a model, it was just not a woman, it was just not a black woman, it was just not a creature, it was just freedom, it was something new, something different, something I was longing for. So I said, okay, I cannot be Grace Jones, so I will work with people like Grace Jones.
So what do you think about the subject of
what?
Of voguing and that culture?
But my work is less about voguing and more about the voguers I work with. So they were on a counter in Baltimore with the Revlon house, with Marquis, with Dale Blackbird, Corrigus, and that's how the work started actually. And then so I went to the roots of voguing to understand where it comes from, and the work is evolving and evolving and evolving, and now we are creating stuff together, which is beyond voguing, which is beyond mainstream culture, which is a work we do, which is a very collaborative and very creative work we do together. But that which tells about how to be free, how to be yourself, how to not to be mainstream, but not to be hidden either, how to be post-gender, how to be post-racial, how to be post-colonial, how to be free in the 21st century in an urban environment, how to be, I don't know what you decide to be, to empower yourself. So this is all it is about.
Are you going to continue this?
Yeah, it's evolving a lot, and now I introduced like my French culture into the work with the Baroque music and the Baroque French dance. Because to my point of view, voguing is the new Baroque. Means Baroque dance back in the day, at the very beginning was a popular dance, and Louis XIV appropriate this dance and make it more minimal, more how to say, more codified. And this was a dance that was danced in the court, and the court is like a ballroom scene, very political. And the girls in the court were even more shady than in the ballroom scene. So there is for me a parallel between the voguing, the flamboyance of Baroque, the fact that also in Baroque, men were feminine, were dressed, were made up. Pretty face was important back in the court. So the standards in the court back in the day of Baroque was very different than the standards of Vogue magazine, for example. Very different.
Okay. So what's your favorite thing about the dance form of voguing that you so far have seen?
What do you mean?
Like, what's your favorite thing in voguing when you see somebody doing it?
Doing voguing, what I love is the story they tell, the ability to tell a story. Yeah, it's more about the story they tell, their story. I'm not very impressed when you don't give the 5 elements and you just dip into very technical stuff. What is very moving and touching for me is the story you're able to tell. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this show. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful work. Thanks. So, what do you think about the performance and this exhibition?
It was great. It was fun. My best part was the voguing competition. Yeah, I mean, just when I was about to enter, they closed the category. I was so pissed. I had my boots down.
So I know that you're a famous poet. Everybody knows your work. I know that you've written about ball culture many times. How do you feel about the evolution of what's happening with ball culture? Like now, artists are documenting it, making movies about it.
It's great. I think it needs to be documented. I think Paris is Burning was great, but that was so many years ago, and that introduced voguing to a whole generation. And it's up to us to keep that alive and introduce it to other generations so that they can take from it and evolve it into whatever it's going to become. So I think this is wonderful, and I think that it's important for us to continue that tradition through our art, whether it's photography or film or writing or whatever it may be. It's important for people to know that that this exists.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of art, are you writing any more pieces about ballroom, or are you done with that?
Nah, it's always going to be part of who I am. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be an element of my writing. So.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So Natasha, what you thought about the exhibition?
It's very interesting. I like it. I mean, it's different than the one I saw with Gerard. It's very different. I thought it's because even though both are ballroom, but that one more real ballroom, and this is like set-up ballroom kind of thing.
Like satire?
Huh?
Like what ball?
A setup.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like let me show you what the ballroom is, and you pretend to be a ballroom. While Gerard, it's an emotion kind of. So that's the difference what I saw. But it's interesting. I like it. Yeah, I like the performance to the ballet music and movie. Yeah, fun. And a lot of people came, and the wine was good.
All right.